I could go within a 50-mile radius and tell you where there are 3 meth labs.
Just right where we're living at, right here in Sioux Falls. It's running rampant. It's crazy. You can go right down the street, blatantly ask somebody, and they have it. It's so cheap on the streets right now, it's ridiculous.
It's in Sioux Falls, it's in Rapid City, Millbank, it's in Miller, it's anywhere that you can think of. Methamphetamine is out there.
It's been creeping up on us for a long time. Meth use in South Dakota.
Meth has been part of our community and part of our problem for a long time. And I think it is because it's a popular drug, it's accessible, and it's not that expensive. And there's various ways to use it.
Last year, there were more than 2,100 meth-related arrests, and that number is likely to climb.
I used to think, like a lot of community members, that it's not here in my hometown. It is. It's in Sioux Falls, it's in Rapid City, it's in your little towns, Millbank, it's in Miller, it's anywhere that you can think of. Methamphetamine is out there.
Meth, also known as crank, crystal, and speed. It quickly seduces those who eat, snort, smoke, or inject it with a euphoric rush that lasts for hours. And then, it starts destroying lives.
When I used it for the first time, I was using it because I was really sad, and I thought it was going to help me in the long run, and I thought it was going to take all my problems away.
Caitlin first tried meth when she was 18 and is trying to stay clean.
Your only priority when you start using meth frequently is meth. That's all you want. You don't care about anything else. You literally don't care. I didn't have a job. I didn't work. The only thing I wanted to do every day was get high. I literally had nothing. Was just ready to either die or go to jail.
She basically lived in her car, and she'd park all over, and of course you worry about her all the time and wonder what she's doing and if she's in trouble or what she's using. It's hard on the family too because you lose trust in her, and she steals and takes my credit card and racks up a bill and tries to break into the house to steal stuff. She's not herself, obviously, going down this dark road.
You turn into a completely different person, and you don't go back to that. You don't go back to who you were before. After you're done, you're never going to be the same person after you use it.
There are many reasons people turn to meth.
I don't believe anybody does meth for the first time thinking they will become a meth addict. They start recreationally. They try it because it's peer pressure. They try it because it's accessible. And I think that they think they're going to be able to walk away from it. And unfortunately, it is an extremely addictive drug, and they can't walk away from it.
So you go from a kid who is free to think what they want to think, and they do what they say they're going to do, to a kid who has a hostile takeover. And meth has now invaded their body, mind, and spirit. It speaks their thoughts for them. It dictates their behavior. It manages their emotion. It tells them what to feel, how to feel, and when to feel it. And when you think about it in terms of a kid, Joey's doing meth. Who does that affect? That affects Joey's siblings. That affects his mom and dad, mom or dad. That affects the immediate family. That affects the community in that it will affect now the school system has to make an adjustment. Law enforcement has to make an adjustment because now they know meth's in the town.
A meth user will go to any lengths because of the obsession to obtain their drugs. So they're committing petty theft, grand theft, breaking into cars, vandalism. After you use so long, you don't know how to not use. And your physical withdrawal is the cravings and the crashing, and you gotta just keep going and going. And the more they go, the worse they get, the more demented, the more psychological breaks, the more delusions and hallucinations, and it's just devastating. It's evil. It takes your soul, your spirituality, your friends, your family, your love, your emotions.
The meth problem has spread across South Dakota. Cities and towns are struggling to come up with solutions as meth has become increasingly easy to get. It affects kids, soccer moms, factory workers, professionals.
There's no strata that it doesn't affect. Middle class, upper class, poor, rich, rural, urban, city or town versus reservation. We're starting to be surprised who's got a meth lab in their house and which kid is using meth, which adult's using meth. It seems to affect teachers as well as the unemployed, so I would say to people in smaller towns, don't be so surprised or smug about how well you think you might be protected.
Arresting the problem isn't the answer.
Over the last few years, I've supervised 45 people, and out of those 45 people, my guess is 5 of them have made it through the program with no hiccups. I mean, not one relapse. And that's a pretty high estimate because, the first 30 days, the first week is hard for these people. I mean, some of them are coming out of jail, and so that's been their sober time. And then we throw them out in the community and say, now go do this. It's hard. It's really hard.
Getting arrested might interrupt us for a while, but it doesn't cure the brain disorder or the disease. I mean, there is no cure. We go in and out of remission like cancer. So, it's like if I have a relapse, you can't just arrest people and put them in jail. Just being incarcerated is a temporary fix to a lifelong problem.
The shame of meth results in people not talking about it. But to solve the meth problem, we need to start the conversation.
I get tired of people saying, can't these kids just make a choice? They could on the front end, but they were naive enough to think that the front end choice would stay choices. And at some point for a kid, it doesn't become a choice anymore. It's a drive.
For those people who think, just quit. Just quit. I quit smoking. It's not the same thing. It is not the same thing. We're talking a whole different kind of addiction here.
When I look at somebody in front of me, I know that they have lost everything. They have been stripped down. They can't even help themselves. It is incumbent upon all of us in some way to help them rebuild their lives.